Today on Let's Go DFW, Dean channels his inner gladiator at the Gladiator Rock and Run. I also try to hold down my breakfast during my flight with the Red Bull pilot, Kirby Chambliss. Paul and I talked to the country music legend, Garth Brooks, for his long-awaited return to Dallas. We have that and more, so stick around for this episode of Let's Go DFW. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let's Go DFW. I'm your host, Dan Roto. Oh, that's right, Emily wasn't able to join me today. She's fine, but she was actually with me at the In Touch Plano Hot Air Balloon Festival this past weekend. We had a blast. Check it out.
Dan and I are here at the Plano Balloon Festival. We got here nice and early because you couldn't sleep, right? You were so excited to see the balloons.
I was like shaking. I was like in bed.
We're the only ones here. We kind of get a sneak peek preview of what's going on. Saw some really cool balloons.
Yeah, a lot of the balloons actually came down because it's a little windy, and they have this like launch thing where they load them up so you can take photos for media, and then they go back down. But all weekend long, there'll be about 50 balloons in that field we're just in. Right now, we're in like Food Truck Alley, I guess.
Yeah, and let me tell you, they have some really good stuff here. I mean, you can't go wrong with corn dogs, obviously.
They got roasted corn.
However, these pizza cones, I've had one once at another festival. They are the best things in the entire world. It's like an ice cream cone made out of dough with pizza filling.
I'm more of an ice cream guy. This seems to be like a slap in the face to ice cream.
Look at that cool pizza cone with the hat.
With the hat and the shoes.
How can you hate that?
What's up?
So we are actually going to go talk to one of the pilots and owners of one of the balloons who came all the way here from Belgium. No, he didn't fly his balloon here. I know that you were going to ask that.
I was, but no, it's actually a pretty unbelievable balloon.
Yeah, and he's going to tell us kind of what it takes to fly it and some cool fun facts about it.
He actually has a strawberry as well.
I love strawberries.
Me too.
All right, let's go check it out.
Let's do it. This right here is one of the baskets. Usually it's standing straight up. I don't know how many people can fit, but to my understanding, when the balloon lands, the basket tips over and everybody falls on each other. So,
is that a real fact?
That is a fact, yeah. My mom's actually been up before in a hot air balloon, and they have like these like segregated places where you kind of stand, you have your own zone. And then when they land, it tips and everyone's kind of like, wow, it falls.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll make sure to be on the top so I fall on of everyone
else. That's right. That's smart thinking, Emily.
I was hoping that we could bring like a little picnic and have like a little...
In the sky.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
So romantic.
Yeah. Well, one thing I've always wondered about hot air balloons is how do you steer it? Like, I know we take off from here, but how do you land back here?
Well, we don't. So
you don't?
We go along with the flow of the wind and we can't steer. You have to fly with whatever wind you get.
Yeah.
And based on that, you have to look for a decent landing spot. So that's the fun part about ballooning. We always know where we take off, but never where we land.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Maybe
maybe
you'll land in my yard.
Yeah, so who knows? Yeah,
probably.
Do you ever have people that want to have like a date in the hot air balloon, bring a little picnic, like a basket?
Yeah, I even have
bring a bowling ball.
Who have, want to get married in a balloon, so not the actual marriage, but the proposal.
Yeah, so that's a good proposal.
Yeah,
another side note.
Not if you drop the ring though. I've seen a lot of videos online.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get people and they're, well, I would say, nervous. I wouldn't say scared, but nervous. And then mostly we fly about an hour, and then we're already flying 45 minutes, and then nothing has been asked yet. So I'm with the guy first.
You're like,
do
you want me to stay up or?
The propane doesn't last forever.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Ask the question.
We have lots of food concessionaires that are showcasing their wonderful festival food, corn dogs, funnel cakes, all the things you like to eat when you come to a festival. Well, the festival is 36 years old. This is our 36th annual event. In Touch Credit Union is our title sponsor.
How many people do you guys expect to get here?
Well, it's like I say, this is a little party we throw for 100,000 of our closest friends.
Wow.
Last year our attendance was 103,000. Wow. We have 9 special shapes. And that's the most we've ever had in my memory. I've been doing this for 24 years. with us. We have a lot of media participants that come because they really consider this a newsworthy event.
So Paul, I heard that you were hanging out in my neck of the woods recently of Toronto.
Yes, I love that town. In fact, I don't know why you would ever leave.
I don't actually know. It was for this show, so.
Fair enough. Well, I was there for the Toronto International Film Festival, which is in its 40th anniversary right now. It's where you see all the great movies before they get nominated for Oscars.
Man, I've seen so many good movies at TIFF. What were some of the ones you got to check out?
Oh, 3 of my favorites there were Sicario, I Smile Back, and Freeheld.
Freeheld. We actually had a pretty interesting contest surrounding Freeheld last week.
That's right. We sent a couple of winners to the world premiere.
It was amazing. Check out Paul's time at TIFF.
Well, and it's such an interesting and timely subject as well. What do you think about this whole?
Someone asked me, can you feel optimistic about? And there's always hope. And I think that if you look at Colombia and how Colombia went through a period that was very similar to what Mexico has been going through, I think Colombia has come out of it, so perhaps Colombia is a model.
I know that it's a tough subject matter and kind of could have been a tough set, but I understand you lighten the mood on it.
I don't, there's always, it was nice because we had kind of started to, based on the blueprint of what Taylor Sheridan had written, there's something really elusive about this guy. And I hate those people, but it's a lot of fun to play, So it kept things light for me on the set to be able to kind of search. I was constantly where can I insert that, and where can I insert that, and where can I insert that?
Yeah, and I know some people are already talking early kind of Oscar buzz, and what is that like to hear that kind of thing?
I'm letting myself be tickled by it and enjoy it, and I think I have a healthy perspective that I'm, only talking to people who have seen the movie and are, excited, and it's a wonderful bubble to be in, but it's a bubble.
This one was so great
Thank you.
Such an experience to watch, and I know the audiences are going to love it, but what did it mean to you to make this one?
Oh, well, I just felt so grateful to be a part of telling Laurel and Stacey's story. I mean, what they did was so important and so truly brave and courageous in a time of difficulty that I personally cannot even fathom. To just convey a beautiful love story, honestly, and to get to do it with one of the most talented people working.
Yeah, it was a privilege to get to tell this story. Mm-hmm. I mean, the documentary, which is how we were both introduced to this story, is absolutely gorgeous. The story is so moving. What Laurel and Stacey allowed to be documented in the last year of Laurel's life is truly extraordinary. They opened their lives at a time of tremendous difficulty, and the changes that they made that were personal for them ended up really affecting the entire nation. I mean, they made history.
Oh man, I really want to see Sicario. That movie looks amazing.
Oh, it's so good. Another one you got to check out is 99 Homes.
Man, 99 problems, but free time to see movies ain't one.
No, man. This one's really, really sad. It's intense, and you need to see it.
Oh, you always make me feel bad for my jokes.
Where are you going? All right, well, let's take a look.
Well, congratulations on this film, and congratulations on this role. What an intense movie and an intense role for you, right?
Yes, yeah, it was, definitely.
How did you get in the right headspace to do this character? Because you had to be kind of a little bit ruthless.
The way I look at it is that Rick's a survivor. Nobody gave him anything. He didn't have any advantage that other people didn't have, except perhaps maybe his intelligence. I just think he figured out this is how you keep the system from screwing you over.
Well, I guess everyone in the movie is in a little bit of survival mode, so it's not necessarily that they're good or bad. It's just that they're in a tough place.
Yeah, I mean, there's the machinations of all this are so huge. You don't ever really. It's kind of like in The Wizard of Oz. You don't get to see behind the curtain. You don't get to see the wizard. And Rick, he's not running the show. He's not the boss. He's just riding
the wave of what's been created by these institutions.
You and Michael did so great with these roles, and I know just the discussions after the screening, I know there's already people sort of saying the kind of Oscar buzz thing, which you've been through before. Are you ready for that kind of thing again?
Nah, it's not really. It's a temptation, you know. It's like it's kind of a similar thing to what the film is talking about, because the film is showing the culture that we're in and the society we're in, how it values bigger and better and more and winning, and how you're only worth something if, you know. So for me anyway, when all that stuff gets talked about with, you know, awards for art, and I understand it, and I understand why it can be a celebration of people's work, and that's beautiful, but it can't be something. It's an undependable thing that people depend on for their own sense of self, and I struggle with that myself. So I try to not take that all that too heavily or seriously.
It's so intense, though. It's hard to watch, but fantastic. Was it hard to read and go, oh my goodness, what's happening with these people?
Yeah, I mean, it was hard to read because I thought I was educated on the crisis itself and what, you know, has transpired over the last 8 years or so in this country particularly. And I felt the rage and controversy around the bailout. But when you witness, and when you, both in script form, but particularly all the documentary footage we saw, you witness how people were evicted from their homes. It is so immoral and so devastating. And so to have the opportunity to work on something to really show us all, those who are privileged enough to not have known, what our community and our society have gone through, I think is essential.
Stay tuned to see what happens when Dan went up in the air with the Red Bull aerobatics plane. It was sick. Stay tuned.
Drew Pearson here. People often ask me about McKinney Buick GMC, and the number one question is, what's the new 2015 Sierra like? The Sierra is the new standard with 4G LTE Wi-Fi and 420 horsepower. Top all that off with true transparent pricing, and you can't go wrong.
Right now, take $15,000 off the all-new Sierra and make no payments for 88 days.
Visit my friends at McKinney Buick GMC, the new choice for excellence.
Dean, man, I saw the Gladiator run footage. You deserve a high five for that.
Thanks, man.
Ew. What happened to your fingers?
Oh, battle wounds, buddy. It's part and parcel of the whole experience, you know? Oh, you should see my legs.
No.
No?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right. Well, in all seriousness, it was a great event. There was a lot of camaraderie amongst the competitors. I had a great time.
Yeah, it looks like you might need to spend a little more time in the shower.
Seriously?
Yeah, you missed the spot.
So filthy.
Hey, I'm here at the Gladiator Rock and Run in Fort Worth, Texas. I am super stoked about this because this is my first mud run ever. And the competition looks really good. So I'm a little nervous, but I'm actually a little bit more nervous for the camera guys. Can you guys keep up with me at all? No? Oh, that's all right. I know you guys can, and I know everyone at home can, so let's do this thing. So I'm ready to go, and I'm really excited about this. I'm gonna get muddy. Are you all ready to do this? You guys ready to go? You ready to go? Woo! Let's do this. Come on, let's do this. Woo! All right. Hey, I'm here with Dan Clark, the founder of Gladiator Run. Dan, thanks for taking the time. I appreciate it. I mean, there's a lot going on here today, and you started this about 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, we started Gladiator in 2010, and thank you so much, Dean, for coming out. Seems like we have gladiators everywhere. We're having a good time invading Texas.
That's great. And you're all around the country, though, so what's your next stop?
We're in Pittsburgh next weekend.
Really?
See what's behind the steel curtain.
That's great. So there's a lot of camaraderie around this whole event. I mean, when I was doing it, I had to rely on a lot of people because I was just by myself. Is that the idea behind all this?
The idea behind it is I always think that we're stronger as a unit than we are as individuals.
Hey, I'm here with Reed and Christian. These guys helped me out a ton. We're a little muddy from the race. What made you want to get into obstacle course racing?
Obstacle courses, you know, we were just dying to get mud in our teeth for breakfast today. Actually,
you do have mud in your teeth.
Mud in our teeth. We want to thank our orthodontist.
And how'd you come up with these obstacles?
Well, I just thought of things I'd want to do.
Yeah.
You know, there comes a time, like, you know, at least for me, when the professional career, the football career, or the gladiator spandex career is over and you say, what's out there that I can go do where I can challenge myself, where I can conquer something and I can help people along the way and I can feel like a gladiator again. I can feel unstoppable again.
You associate yourself with a charity as well, correct?
Yes, here in Dallas and in San Antonio, we're benefiting Soldiers Angels, who such a great organization that helps vets who've served our country, and it helps give them something back because I noticed you can't scream.
This is one of the hardest obstacles on the entire course. It was so much fun.
Well, this is called the Beast, and we call it the Beast because it's a beast to get over.
It is a beast. It's a total beast to get over.
You know, the real race is those guys in fatigues that do this to protect the rest of us. We're out here just to say thank you to those guys, and thank you guys for sponsoring them.
It was a great experience for only being 15, and I didn't have to skip any of the obstacles, so that was fun.
Well, thanks, Dan. I really appreciate you coming out to Dallas. And where can people find information about the Gladiator Run?
Well, Dean, first of all, thank you guys for coming out. And hey, not every host can do the Gladiators, so that's awesome that you.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
You got to do it, Dean. And you can find us at www.gladiatorrockandrun.com and soldiersandangels.com. So check it out when we come to your neighborhood or when we're back in Dallas. Come and get your Gladiator on.
Definitely do it.
With a grand prize of $100,000. Let's do this!
Is this who you left me for? You're coming in between me and my girl?
I don't want any trouble.
Are you in seeing trouble?
We caused kidney failure to a kid from one punch.
No one will ever love you like I love you.
I know a champ when I see one.
Another tournament.
I'm here, aren't I? I'm fine. I'm saying by a gun, because that's the only way you're gonna stop him. The most misunderstood form of resolve is fighting for the wrong reason.
So Dean, I know you know everything.
Well, I don't know about everything, but I do know some really cool events coming up next weekend.
Okay, go.
Well, I love mud runs, and Tough Mudder is coming up on October 3rd and 4th. Got to check it out. They're really, really fun.
I don't get my hair wet. What else?
Well, there's Teen Fashion Week, which is kind of cool. That's going to promote young adults and teens in the fashion industry.
I like that. Yeah. So what about something to eat? Like, where is the food at this weekend?
Oh, I got it for you. Smoked. It's a barbecue festival. You got to check it out. It's going to be absolutely delicious.
That sounds really good. How do we work off the barbecue, though?
Well, there's Sister to Sister Fitness Festival, and that's going to be a really good event for that.
And I heard it's also a charity event for breast cancer and cancer awareness.
That's right. Yeah, so it's a great event, and everyone should go check it out.
Awesome. I'm going to be there.
Good.
Coming up next, Paul and I get to talk to country icon Garth Brooks before his 7-show stop here in Dallas.
It's the ISW Menswear 21st Anniversary Sale. Save on every item throughout the store, like men's suits for $69, sport coats for $49, dress shoes $39, Savain non-iron dress pants $34, designer ties $14, designer dress shirts $19. And for a limited time, the $2.99 triple suit package is back. Get 3 suits, 3 shirts, 3 ties, and 3 pocket squares for only $2.99. It's the ISW Menswear 21st Anniversary Sales Event. ISW Menswear, the look of success.
I earned my wings last week flying with 2-time world champion Kirby Chambliss before his big race at the Red Bull Air Races. We were in his plane, we did end-over-end flips, we did turns, we did spins. It was crazy. Check it out. I am. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous. Hi, morning. Nice to meet you.
Right, so all the stuff we're going to do today would be at low altitude, and then you see the trees and things whipping by, and so that's cool.
Mom, Dad, I love you.
Hey guys, I'm here with Kirby Chambliss. Thanks again for taking me up on that plane ride yesterday.
For sure, man. That was awesome. You did great.
It was unbelievable. I put that on Facebook, and everybody was like, "Oh man, like you're so lucky. You got to go on some plane. How?" But it was so much fun.
Yeah.
So actually, one of the questions I got asked a lot is how does somebody get involved in like this air race? Like, how did you start doing the planes?
You know, I mean, I've been around airplanes forever, but the way that I got interested in aerobatics is when I was flying corporate. The chief pilot was a smart guy. He said, if the jet ever ends up upside down with the CEO on board, we want you to be able to turn it right side up without killing everyone. And I thought, well, that makes sense to me. So, you know, I was 21, we took the airplane, put it upside down, and I was like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever, you know? So it was just like, well, you know, I mean, when we turned upside down, you're like, holy cow, you can fly upside down. All of a sudden, it made it three-dimensional for me, and all my focus in life went towards that. You know, then aerobatic championships, I mean, I've won 5 of those, you know, and then got to represent the United States in world level competition from 1997 till 2005. I won gold medals, bronze medals, silver medals. And then this race that came along, they said, hey, we're going to start this thing. It's called the Red Bull Air Race. You have to be 1 through 15 in the world aerobatic standings. At the time, I was the only American that was. And they said, would you like to try it out? And I was like, yeah, sure. And from my background, racing motocross, I love speed, love skydiving, I love adrenaline. And it was the coolest thing. I mean, we're low level, just zipping through these gates. And it was like a perfect fit for me. And I've been doing it ever since.
One thing that you told me actually before we did our flight was about your Arizona ranch and how there's different air regulations there.
Right.
Can you tell us a bit about the fun that you have there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my place, you know, there's a couple things you have to have in order to fly low-level aerobatics or aerobatics at the surface. One thing, you have to be in waivered airspace, which is like at the air show, they waiver that airspace to allow us to do that. And then the other thing is you have to have is a low-altitude competency card, which means you have enough skill in order to do aerobatics at the surface like that. I have both of those at my house. I mean, I have the card for myself anywhere, and then at my house I have waivered airspace. So what we did, we had to stay above 1,500 feet from what we went out. So, you know, it's not quite as cool, but it's still pretty cool.
Man, that was so cool. I mean, because you had mentioned that you go upside down and like really close to the ground, right?
Yeah, take off, roll right upside down.
I don't know if I could handle that.
Oh, you'd be just fine, because you're not doing it, you're just sitting there.
Well, I know, but like, you know, this one we were so high off of the ground that I was even sick.
Yeah.
So with these flips that we did, because the thing that we did, it almost seemed like planes shouldn't do that.
Yeah, normal planes shouldn't do that. I always do. If the tail goes over the nose and you're in the airliner, you're in deep trouble.
Well, how do you practice that?
Well, I mean, first of all, the airplane's designed to do that. I mean, it's super strong, super light. I mean, that's what it's for. Do you see it didn't have a lot of creature comforts in it? Nobody came and served you a drink or anything. There's not a lot of room. It's hot, it's noisy. Well, there's a reason for that. It's built for performance. And the way that you start doing that, I mean, everything that we did, I've done 1,000 times before. There's no place that you can put that airplane to that I haven't been 1,000 times before. But you practice up high so that when I go and put a display on low, at low altitude, I don't get to make any mistakes. You know, up there you can make a couple mistakes and maybe make an extra turn and you have time. Where we were, when I'm doing low-level display flying, then no, there's no time. I mean, if I do one extra flip that wasn't intentional, then now I'm really, really low to the ground. And so,
it's more dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, again, thank you so much for taking me on that flight and even doing this interview with us. Really appreciate it. Best of luck this weekend. I'll be watching. I'll be supporting you. And thanks again.
Appreciate it. Well, you know, the thing about this, one other thing is that it's definitely going to be different. This is a race, so people need to come out expecting to see a race. It's about time, it's about the clock, and you're going to see the fastest motorsport. And you know, nothing like going 230 miles an hour, a few feet above the ground with your hair on fire.
Right on. You guys can catch Kirby Chambliss here at the Tex Motor Speedway on September 26th and 27th for the Red Bull Air Race. We'll be rooting him on. You should be too. See you guys later.
So you and Dan got to talk to Garth Brooks, and I'm super jealous. I grew up listening to this guy's music, and by far, my go-to karaoke song is Friends in Low Places.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
let's hear it.
No. That's not gonna happen.
Oh, yeah,
No,
look,
it's not.
here's your mic.
Okay. I got friends in low places, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna do. That's it, yeah.
You know Garth is gonna hear this, right?
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. No.
It's got to be amazing. I know you said that the show you saw that you knew you wanted to do it was Queen, and you grew up listening to a lot of rock bands. Now you've outsold them, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin.
How do you wrap your mind around that?
Well, it has nothing to do with the artist. It has something to do with the genre. It's country music, man. We have the world's largest audience. Yeah. You put them together, they can move mountains. But at the same time, what I love about them is they want you to be the guy next door, which I can be all day because that's just me being lazy and me being me. I like that. So they let me do that, and at the same time, they put you on the map, you know, with other entertainers. So that's very sweet. Never ever would I think of myself on that level, but they can put you there.
So you're breaking records all over Dallas. You got 7 nights here. How do the fans in Dallas and Texas, how do they compare to overseas and everywhere else? Just because country is so big here.
Well, this is the place for them. This is like the center, you know. So, like I said, we started our whole career here, coming out of Oklahoma, came down here and just played every honky-tonk we possibly could. This is the place that knows their country music inside and out. But you've got the world's most gorgeous women here. Everybody dances here, and that's what country music for me is all about, you know. So there were artists when you moved to Nashville. There were artists like, man, I don't understand why people dance while you sing because they want them to hear. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. You're doing your job if they're dancing out there. That's what it's all about.
Now, can you tell us what it's like to be on tour with your husband, like spending so much time with him? Do you guys have like ways to stay apart?
I've never ever been in a relationship where I actually wanted to spend that much time with someone.
Yeah.
But I enjoy his company, and hopefully he enjoys my company. So we're together all the time. I jokingly say, because people always say, what's it like to be married to Garth Brooks? And usually I say that I get up first in the morning, I turn on the fog machine, you know, and he comes up through the floor. And,
extreme.
You know, yeah, it's extreme.
Big.
It's intense.
Yeah.
But no, it's just fun. And usually when you're going on tour, you're leaving somebody at home, and so usually the day before, if I'm going to do my own thing, I'm just mad the whole day because I'm going to do what I love to do, but I'm going to miss him.
Yeah.
So this is the best of everything. Get to do what we love, and we get to be together.
One of the gifts I've been given, and I want to wear it out. I just want to laugh and love so loud.
And is he not the nicest guy too? I mean, is he always like this? Because I've met him outside of this before, and I've seen him put the kids down and go meet every last fan.
Yeah, I mean, 24 years and counting, more than that, 28 years, I guess I've known him. I kept thinking at some point, the other shoe's going to drop. Nobody's that nice, you know? But he really is that nice.
Now, we saw him get pretty emotional here at the press conference. Do you ever get like that when you're on stage? Or are you that, like, do you get the overwhelming passion or anything?
I mean, he cries at commercials, so he definitely is more emotional than I am.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we have a song called Prize Fighter that is the title of the album that came out last year. And it's kind of become an anthem for cancer survivors and people going through the cancer fight. So there are those nights when you're singing that song and you look out and you see a lady with a bald head holding up a sign saying, I'm going through it. It's hard to keep it together. And I do pretty well, but sometimes I just lose it. And the older I get, the more I realize it's okay. If you lose it, it's all right.
So that's another episode of Let's Go DFW in the books. If you want to stay in the loop, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just to see where we're at next. I'm your host, Dan Roto, and next week, Emily Reppert will be back joining me for another great episode of Let's Go DFW. Catch you guys later. Let's go DFW.
And then you were, what was that? What was that? Huffing and puffing coming out there.
Oh, no, I was just faking it.
I got friends in low places, and that's